and give talks much anymore?
Kitty Pretty, so happy to see you, Cat. I didn't know you were back to streaming. Wow, so cool. Well, Kitty, I never really left. Well, actually, no. Let me rephrase that. I did stop streaming for a while, but I think it was that last year? I don't quite remember. Yeah, I think that was last year. I took a break from like April to July, I think, because I tried getting back into the dating scene and it just failed miserably, as usual. And then I think, well, this year, I went out on one date last January, and, see, even and my stupid notifications were turned off. I stopped watching Twitch when we went on break. I literally just happened to load it while waiting for some friends to finish a game. Oh, there you go. Yeah, basically, I have not been on a date. Let's see, the last date I went on was last January, and it had been my first date in 4.5 years, and me and the girl, we had texted, well, we met on plentyoffish.com. We had texted back and forth for about a week or two, and we were getting along great, exchanging jokes, exchanging funny texts or whatever. And then finally I was like, hey, let's meet up for dinner. Would you like to go to dinner? She's like, yeah, sure. So I said, okay, let's meet up at this restaurant for dinner. And so, yeah, that was last January. So we met up for dinner for our first date, and we said hi, and we had a great dinner, and we laughed, we talked, we chatted, and the date went very well. And so at the end of the date, I was walking her to her car, and she got in, and I said, I'd like to meet up with you again, if that's okay. And she was like, yeah, sure. I said, okay, well, here, let me give you my cell phone number, because we were exchanging messages through the Plenty of Fish app on our phones. And she said, oh, I put my phone up already. Would you please send it to me through the app? I said, yeah, sure, no problem. So I said goodbye. She drove off. I got in my car. I went on the app and I said, okay, here's my number, da 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 da. Here you go. So the next day, I got my phone was blinking because I had a text. And I was like, oh, she texted me. So I looked on my phone, but it was just a text from it was an advertisement. It was just like a spam text. So I'm like, it wasn't her. So I went back on the app, the next day, to see if, maybe she had messaged me, through the app, to say, oh, I had a good time or I had a bad time or whatever. And all of our messages from the previous 2 weeks that we had exchanged were completely gone. And I was like, what? And then I clicked on her picture to look at her profile, and it said, you have been blocked from accessing this profile. And it was kind of a mind fuck, because, we were texting back and forth for a couple of weeks. Everything was going great. We met up. We had a good dinner. We had a good conversation. She seemed to be into it and everything. And then, literally the next day, because the thing is, on the Plenty of Fish app, if you block somebody on the Plenty of Fish app, it deletes everything, like any messages that you had any messages that you had sent or that they had sent you or whatever, any conversations, once you hit the block button, it all disappears. It all gets erased. I discovered that. And I was like, well, I mean, the least she could have done was, like, sent me a message through the app to say, hey, look, Skratch, I had a good time, when we met up. But, now that we've met up and we've chatted, I don't really think it would work out, but I wish you luck. I hope everything works out for you in the future, Dude, she literally, like, just flushed me down like the toilet of the dating world. And so after that, basically, at that point, I just gave up. I was like, you know what? When it comes to dating and when it comes to relationships nowadays, people and their feelings are now as disposable as an empty plastic water bottle. Like, nobody cares anymore. I mean, literally, like, nobody cares about people's feelings, how they, whether their actions are how they're going to affect the other person. And as far as, like, the dating world goes, it's like, they meet somebody or they text somebody, and, even if everything's going great, and then all of a sudden they discover one thing, even one thing that they don't like about that other person, and that's it. They just give up. Like it, I mean, like, there could have been 10 things that she was looking for in a relationship, and I could have had 9 out of those 10 things. And as soon as she found out about that one thing, that 1 out of 10 things, she was like, oh, no, forget it. Red flag, I'm moving on, da-da-da. And that's it. And that, I realized that that's how dating is now. That's how people view relationships now. And I think people view friendships and relationships now as disposable. At least in the dating world, I think that, like I said, I think when it comes to online dating now, that people and their feelings have just become disposable. And Kitty Pretty, oh, sorry, Kat, did you go back to dating after that? No, I did not. After that happened, Kitty, I deleted Plenty of Fish. I deleted the other dating apps that I was using, and I just stopped. And I have not been on a date since. I have no desire to go out on a date since that happened. I know that this makes me sound like that I'm quitting or that I'm giving up on dating ever again. But the fact of the matter is, guys, is that I am not young. I am almost 50 years old. Okay? And I have neither the time nor the desire to continually bang my head against the dating wall if things like this are going to keep happening, which they have happened in the past. I've been, like I said, 5 years ago, my last relationship 5 years ago, when I was actually dating somebody, she ended up cheating on me. And after that happened, I had other, negative things going on in my life. So I wanted to focus on fixing those negative things. And so dating was the furthest thing from my mind. And after I took care of those other negative things, I thought, okay, well, after I took care of that a couple of years ago, I thought, Well, you know what? Maybe I will try to get back into the dating game. And, um, and no matter what I tried, I would send out messages, they would go unanswered. Um, Whatever messages I would get from other people were either spam or, fake messages trying to get me to join a porn site or just weird ass, like, people that were just friggin' creeps. Um, the one chick, like I said, the one that blocked me after the date, she was like the most normal of the responses that I had gotten. So I thought, yeah, I'll go out on a date with her and see what happens. Um, and and yeah, and then that happened. So I was like, no, I'm done. I'm done. Um, I'm tired of the rejection. I'm tired of the games. I am tired of, you know, fake people. And and there you go. And the thing is, I'm trying to describe this in an objective way instead of just saying, fuck dating, everybody sucks, the world sucks, you know, everybody's just a bunch of whores, everybody, people just suck, blah, blah. I'm not trying to make mass generalizations like that. I'm trying to be objective. I'm trying to be an adult about it. I'm trying to describe it in a way that doesn't make me sound like, bitter. Um, yeah, so I'm just, I just have no faith in dating anymore. I just don't. I mean, I have very little, if any, faith in humanity as a whole. So, I mean, I think as a society, I think we're pretty much circling the drain. I think as a species, we're getting close to circling the drain. It wouldn't surprise me if, and I'm trying not to sound really negative here, folks, but it really wouldn't surprise me that if within the next 5 years we have another major conflict in the world, um, possibly one that could go very, very hot, um, because China is up to some really, really big shenanigans right now. And I mean, I don't know. I really think that the proverbial shit could really hit the fan within the next 5 years. Um, and again, I'm really not trying to sound negative right now. This is not something that I should be doing on a stream. But just I just really just do not have any faith in relationships anymore. I just don't. Um, Now, for those of you out there that are in a relationship right now, I want your relationship to be successful. I want you to be happy with the person that you are with. I want your relationship to grow and blossom and to be fruitful and to be good and for you to be good to each other. For those of you out there that are not in a relationship, I want you to know that just because you are not in a relationship, that does not make you any less of a person. Because for the longest time, I felt as though that if I was not in a relationship, that I was less of a person. And that is absolutely the furthest thing from the truth. And I want you all to know from the bottom of my heart, if you are single and you are not in a relationship and you feel like you are less of a person simply because you feel that there isn't someone out there that loves you, that is You are wrong. You're very wrong. Okay? Unless you are a genuinely shitty person, like the girl that blocked me for absolutely no reason, um, then you are, I mean, you are appreciated, okay? I certainly appreciate you. I certainly appreciate your viewership. I certainly appreciate you guys listening to my nonsense day in and day out. I certainly appreciate all of you, watching me over the years and supporting me over the years. I mean, you guys provided me with the money to get a new gaming chair. You guys have contributed a lot to this stream and made it good and made it fun. And, let's not forget that, from July or August of 2016 to July of 2018, I was living with nonstop anxiety because of something that was going on in another state, and I was very fearful of it. And you guys, kept me occupied and kept me distracted, and you guys helped me through it, and I'm very appreciative of that. Kitty Pretty Life is still worth living, Cat. Even if you are single, the world is still beautiful. Well, life is definitely still worth living, and I am still a very faithful person as far as my faith goes. I still believe very strongly in the Lord. And I know that He put me on this earth for a reason. He put all of us on this earth for a reason. And again, I don't feel like less of a person simply because I am single. Now, do I get lonely sometimes? Yes. Do I get sad sometimes? Yes. Do I wish I had someone to cuddle with from time to time? Yes. But I may not have everything that I want, but I definitely have everything that I need. And I'm very grateful for that, and I do my best to never take anything for granted. And there you go. So there you go. That's all I got to say on that for now, I guess.